There are some folks you just really look forward to sitting down with from time to time, and such is the case with our next guest. Jana Jae is here. Jana, good to have you.
Hi, Sam. I feel the same way about you. It's so wonderful to see you. Always a good time to be with you. Your shows are terrific.
Thank you.
What an honor.
Oh,
Really?
no, we're the honored ones here. Where have you been as of late? It seems like you've been on the road again.
Been on the road again, doing a lot, doing our 3 festivals. You know, I didn't even bring that little, I have my 3 festivals and I forgot to bring it in here.
Oh.
Your wife has a copy. I could run and get a copy. Anyway, 3 festivals in Grove, and June, July, and Labor Day. And my son is coming in July.
Oh, is he really?
He's going to do the Matt Greif Trio. You know, you know him, and he's Los Angeles Guitar Quartet, but he's kind of hankering to play with some of the Tulsa Sound guys, some of his friends from high school and all. So
With the group he plays with in California, are they primarily classical?
they are primarily classical, but they, you know, they do all styles, and he kind of helps them with the jazz element. He loves playing jazz and bluegrass, and so that's kind of fun. And but then all this Tulsa Sound and Bob Wills music, Leon Russell, he loves all that too. And
You got to get him on. How long is he going to be here?
Well, not very long.
Oh.
But he was going to come this past week. It was their spring break, but they went, his son is going to go to college. So they were going to campuses and, you know, putting on the final touches of a decision. Yeah.
I want to get some examples from you today because of some things that have happened on previous shows.
Okay.
We had a gentleman on by the name of Glenn Smith.
Oh.
You know Glenn?
Yeah, I know Glenn. He
And
does the Silver Dollar String Band and contra dances and old-time gatherings.
Old-time fiddling.
And that's what we're doing in July.
I
I
want to
can
hear it.
hardly wait. Yeah.
I want to be there for that. And
Good.
I wanted to have you on because we had no musicians that day. And I would like for you, if you wouldn't mind, first, could you give us an example of classical music, just set the stage?
Classical music. Let me get up here a little bit where I don't hit my arm on the, you know, we don't play with arms. So we could do a little Bach. Or something like that, or and so forth.
And so it goes.
Yeah, and
Now-
I'm doing a lot of chamber music, which I love too. Prokofiev and Beethoven. And
You, though, are classically trained, are you?
yes.
All right, let's take a step into another form.
Okay.
Let's hear a little bluegrass.
A little bluegrass. Okay, this is one I wrote, and I don't have a good name for it yet, but that's what I call it, or somebody else called it, JJ's tune.
You're having way too much fun.
It is fun. It is lots of fun.
Now, can I get you to transition over to what they call the old music?
Old time like Glenn Schmidt might be
Yeah.
interested in.
The stuff
or-
that would be back in the hills of,
and
Kentucky.
dancing. Those old dances that they had and beating out the rhythm on the,
and sometimes all they had was a
That's true.
single fiddle.
that's right. So, let's see. Well, this is Ragtime Annie. And on and on.
Oh, really? There are folks who really, and when we taped the show with him that day, it hit me that there are folks out there that don't realize that the old music is older than this country.
Wow.
It goes
European,
European.
really.
So it goes back a long way to
Yeah.
the Scots.
Well, I'm trying to think of another one that would go back. Well, you know, one of the first ones my granddaddy taught me was Devil's Dream, which is way back there. And it's actually kind of like Baroque bowing. You know, it's kind, or if I did that in A minor, and then you can dress it up a little.
Are there people who just prefer old music?
Oh yeah, you know, people get into their favorite genre and love it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love that, you know, people love Bob Wills, or they love old time, or they love Condes fiddling, or jazz. And, but you can get very exclusive into that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not to put the others to shame. It's not to put the others down.
No, not at all. You're opening a different door.
Right. And I love the variety. I love being able to play lots of different things. I love playing chamber music. We did 3 really well-received concerts with what we call the Compass Quartet in California with my sister. I'm taking her to Georgia with me,
Really?
the country of Georgia. It's a little different than the state of Georgia.
I hope politically it is too.
It's bordered by Russia, so we're kind of, you know, we were a little trepidatious. They've had a little bit of unrest there, but we're going. We're going to bring our music, our American music, to Georgia.
You know, Roy Clark did that.
Yes.
Roy took his full entourage to Russia.
You know,
Not
I
once,
almost
but
was
twice.
on that trip.
Really?
Yeah. But they had plenty of people, and I had a couple booking conflicts, and so they said, well, we'll do it next time.
Well, he said, he sat, in fact, sat right where you're sitting now and told us that when they were in Russia,
Yes.
there was a language barrier, but he said there was no music barrier.
No music barrier. It speaks to everyone.
Yeah.
And, you know, in Europe, there for quite a long time when I studied in Vienna, and they were just pretty highbrow. They weren't really interested in country music. I couldn't go in there and do. I couldn't do that. I was doing Bach and so forth, but little by little, I just introduced maybe something like The Devil's Dream, you know, something that was more Baroque sounding, a little more. Their ears were more used to it. And pretty soon they really loved it. We'll play another one. We'll play a Celtic one. And that's what I found when I do my workshops with classical players. They don't know how to play by ear. They don't know how to play country, but they're interested in it if you prove yourself as a classical musician and then whet their appetites a little bit.
I remember my grandfather saying once that there was a time when he was a boy that they would go to dances
Oh, yeah,
and there'd be one fiddle and that was it. And people had a wonderful time.
right.
But
Well,
this-
here we are, one fiddle.
having a wonderful time again. What's on the horizon for you besides Georgia?
Well, I'm doing my 3 festivals. It's a pretty full summer, and I love doing those festivals. My CPA always asks me why I'm doing the festivals. I do it because I love it. It's my giving back. I've never taken a penny out of the festivals. So I hope folks will come up. There's one, our American Heritage Music Festival, June, always the first full week in June, June 8, 9, and 10.
And where?
Then they're in Grove, and you know they sold the Civic Center, but we're indomitable. we're going to be with Harbor Village at Harbor Village, and that's going to be great synergy. And then July 21st and 22nd, it's old time gathering and music, but we have different kinds of music around the Harbor Village stages. And that's when my son's coming. His rootsy jazz, or jazzy roots.
I really want to meet him when he comes to town.
I hope so. I hope you can. And then our fiddle camp, which is all educational, on Labor Day weekend. September 1, 2, 3. You have to think about all these dates.
Well, it's a shame you don't have anything planned or anything to do.
You want to go to Georgia?
No.
It's going to be fun. It's supposed to be a gorgeous country.
Really?
But yeah, it's very close to being encroached upon by Russia. But
Bring us pictures, will you?
I will do that, Sam.
Jan, we're out of time. Thank you so much for coming in and
You're
giving us the
wonderful.
examples, because a lot of folks did not understand, and it was hard for me to explain later where the old music came from.
Right.
Because nobody talks about that,
That's true.
unless you
That's
go to a
true.
specialized.
You just keep making me want to play more and more and more.
Well,
We could go on for a while.
I'm going to close it out, but you go ahead and play. You want to? You want to play us out?
Okay, I'll do a little old time.
All right, we're all out of time. Janice is going to take us back to the barnyard, and I'll see you back next time.